Alright guys, so this is my Mach2 mount with the Eagle tripod with an extension, and you see the keypad that I have. You can see there where I anchor it on the Mach2, but I've been looking for a different way to do that. Now I did do a video some time ago where I retrofitted one of the trays that fit around the perimeter of that extension, and it works great, but I don't always want to use that. And what if you don't have any trays, but you still want to have some kind of hook in which to put your keypad on? So I came up with an idea, and it involves taking one of those knobs off. Those are the machine knobs from Astro-Physics. You get a set of 3 of those. And so what I'm going to do is replace that knob with a custom-made hook. So let's take that off. And the hook that I'm making, you can use it anywhere on here. I'm just going to replace the actual knob, but you could put it anywhere along the Eagle's tripod where you can anchor it into the base of your mount. So to accomplish this, we need to get 1/4 inch diameter by 2.5 inch long eye bolts. And I chose stainless steel ones. You'll be taking the supplied nut off because you will not need that. Then what you got to do is at some point you're going to have to take a hacksaw. I used a pneumatic cutoff wheel, and you're going to want to cut off something like this. You want to cut this part off from there over, and I kept a little more on, so I cut it off about here. Again, you can use a hacksaw, because what you're doing there is creating a hook, because you got to have the 1/4 because that's what's going to screw into the base of your mount. Now you can always make something if your mount's 5/16, because I did one on my ATS 12-inch portable pier. It was 3/8/16, so you can use this for whatever thread. Just remember that you get the threaded size that you need here, and you'll need to cut it off at some point up there. Next, you'll need to get a coupling nut, and of course this is a 1/4 because that's what I need. So when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. And then I took it on a wire wheel to buff up and make sure there was no burrs on the end that you just cut off. Next, boys and girls, you're going to need a combination wrench. Now in this case you see a 3/8, but you're saying, well, where's the other end of the combination? Here's the secret to what I've done. I wanted this to be self-contained so that it wouldn't need any extra tools to tighten this down. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I took my carborundum cutoff wheel, it was a pneumatic one, and cut that off, leaving this, and you don't need this part of it. But I'm going to keep it. You never know if I have a project down the road where I'm going to need an open end. I'll throw this in my toolbox, and I may have to modify some so I'll just keep this. Then you're going to need and I used a stainless steel 1/4 inch flat washer, and then a 1/4 inch self-retaining washer. Alright, so then I went over to my neighbor's, Don, and he graciously spot welded this up for me. So you'll see why this is like this, okay? And the way I did it is I made sure that the box end wrench was flush with the one end of the coupling nut, and then you can see that I have the angle that was built into the wrench. Obviously I have it to where it is going towards the other end, just as you see there. Next, you'll assemble this in this order that you see here. When you are done assembled, it will look like this. Let's put this on the stand. Now when I do this, I have the other two knobs loose. Then what I'll do, and this is all the way back, so as you can see here, this will turn this way. I'll rotate it to where this is snug up to this end, just like that, so that this piece is all the way back as far as it'll go in the threads here. Then I just simply rotate it, and you'll see where it wants to go right there. Well, obviously we got to back it off because we want the hook here. So now what I do, here's the reason for this. I wanted no tools. What this allows me is to just tighten this down, and you'll see here. So I'll hold this, and I'll push this down like this. Just like that. I've now tightened this side. That has replaced the knob that I had from Astro-Physics. Then I'll go around to the other two. I only use two, or a total of 3 knobs. This is being replaced obviously with this. And then I'll go ahead and tighten the other ones down, and we're set for the evening. Alright, let's give this thing a try. Just like that. And I use, I did a video on this thing, and I've used some other ones. You can use carabiner, and I've done videos on how I do what I've used, but this is what I'm using at the moment. I like this setup here from Night Eyes, and as you can see, it's right there at the ready. Can't damage anything. You've got a nice rubber sleeve around the keypad, and there you are. A good safe place for the keypad. And since I mentioned it, guys, these are the two that I'm using. Either one of these that I use for the keypad. If I'm using the top one, obviously this will hook into the keypad here. This will go onto the hook, and down here I've got this locked off permanently. That would go onto a hook. Keypad would attach here. I find this is the best way for myself. I really like these. And the beauty of this is when you're done at the end of the evening, this whole thing comes off as one unit. All you've got to do is go like that and take it off. And then I've got a small container that the Astro-Physics knobs goes into, and that's what this will go into. And then I put that in the case that I use, that I have the Mach2 in. And this is the container I'm talking about, guys, that this easily fits into the case that I put my Mach2 in. Everything's ready for the next setup.